Good morning. I thought I would get into it and talk about my mom before I forget anything. Simply because my mom in my life, see, in our life, moms ran things. My mom did all the whipping, she did all the feeding and the bathing and all that. And when I think about it, my dad wasn't no slouch. He took care of business. But it was like he did it because mom didn't do it. You know, the way it worked, my mom was at the hospital and my dad worked on the railroad, so he would work 5 days on the road and 5 days coming back. And he went from City of Los Angeles Union Pacific Railroad on the train. So every now and then he would, I think I can remember maybe one or two whippings, especially one. And it wasn't no big deal. He was just like, hey, mom, you tear you behind all the pieces, you know. So, hey, that's the cool thing. But in our family, the mothers did all that part. They raised us, and they raised me to put diapers on all my children, all of them. Something different about daddies and fathers, you know. I was raised to put diapers on all my children. And I put diapers on all my cousins and, you know, that kind of stuff. We were raised up. But I was really talking about my mother. Wow. My mother, like I said, she raised everybody and brought everybody out here. See, we are from Tennessee. But when my mother found out what my dad had in her mind, boy, she got all her family out here. She got her two sisters, and the youngest one stayed with us. The other one married out in Cleveland, I believe, and she even came out here with my cousins, Marcus. Oops. That's the only name I'm going to say. I'm going to try to keep this without no names. But anyway, y'all know him. Anyway, so they came out here, and his brother was older, and he came out and he babysitted. But it's so funny because now we're talking about my mother, because my mother got all of them out here, not only the brothers and the sisters, but the mom and the daddy, and that was so cool. They not only came out here and lived with us briefly, but they got their own houses and moved out, and oh man, life was moving back then. So the thing was, they came out here and they got their own stuff. But now, you know, they came out here and got married. And my mother was the first one, and then her sister got married, and she came out here. But they had babies. I mean, 2 years later after me, there was Chico. And we hung out for a while. But when they came out here, boy, she got married and started having children. And to make a long story short, all the mommies had children, but my mother didn't. She went to the hospital too, but it wasn't for children. Come to find out, she had leukemia. And I didn't notice anything because of my family's strong, and she did things. She liked to organize. The organizing was like, we'd go to Cabrillo Beach in the summertime. We'd have a church picnic at Lincoln Park, I believe it was. And holidays, we'd cook dinner. My mother would do Christmas, and her sisters would do the others, like New Year's and Easter, and let me see. Oh, Thanksgiving. Man, boy, those were some days. And that's when the cousins get together. And like I said, I was the first one out there, so I had to show them how to do the city life. You know, they tried to do me the country life, but I wasn't having it. You know, I didn't want no outhouses and all of that stuff. But anyway, I noticed they all came back with babies, but my mother never came back from the hospital. Not after Chico. Yeah. And one day, I'll never forget it. I woke up probably early or something. I don't know what time it was. And all I could hear was crying and remind me what they biblically say, the gnashing of their teeth and all that, screaming and crying, and it's horrible. And one of the uncles came in there and told me my mother had passed away. Yeah, I didn't know anything about death. It's like, okay, passed away, fine. And here comes my dad crying, talking about your mother's gone. I don't know where she went. I don't know nothing. And I did not go to the funeral. I remember that very good because they asked me, did I want to go? And it's like, no. I was treated a very special way. I don't know why, but it seems like I was special. Like I said, I always felt like I was treated like Jesus. You know, that's deep. But the whole thing, I didn't go, so I didn't go through the mourning period. I didn't go through those periods of grief and stress, and I didn't know nothing about that. And it's probably the reason why I got so comfortable with the other part of life. You know, because I remember so distinct. I didn't go to the funeral. I went to other people's funerals, but not mine. Or, it's not mine, but my mother's. You know. And I mourned and I thought about it, and I have no regrets, but I did not go through that period. So let me just say that about that part, because it might have stressed me out in ways I didn't stress out. And this was in the period between the 4th and the 6th grade. And that was a period when, oh my God, I guess we were getting ready to go through adolescence and the junior high school period. Hey, Pastor, this is right after we left that meeting, and I thought what do you call it? You cut it down, and I put it just for my mom, and I'm about on the after high school. So this project is moving on, and it's just a snippet.